Thank you so much for joining us. This is ANN7's SA Decides, our very second season. We're coming to you from the Northern Cape at Emthanjeni Municipality, right in front of the town hall. We will be having a debate. We will be having more of these debates actually in the coming weeks leading up to the municipal elections. Allow me to introduce to you my guests this afternoon. To my left is the Executive Mayor of Emthanjeni, Executive Mayor Sipho Stonga. Also joining us is from the Democratic Alliance, Mr. Jacobus Rust. We also have an independent candidate joining us this afternoon, Councillor Vuyelwa Jonasi. But most importantly, we have an audience with us this afternoon. We have members from different political parties. We have members from the Democratic Alliance. We also have members from the ANC who will be talking to us, posing their concerns, questions, and whatever they may be happy with when it comes to their leaders and how they're governing this municipality. Well, first things first, let's play this in so you can have a background of exactly what we're talking about.
The Emthanjeni Municipality in Dar, Northern Cape is pursuing partnerships with the private sector in an attempt to revive the local economy. Leading the way with infrastructure investment, the outcomes are expected to deliver economic growth. A partnership between the municipality and Transnet has launched a youth precinct with the objective of providing skills to youth in the area. The town is home to one of the largest solar plants in the Southern Hemisphere and is expected to encourage outside investment and lead to more economic opportunities.
DR, as a developing community in plans to revive its ghost town status, is seemingly on fast track to sustain its economic, environmental and social benefits. Home to one of the biggest solar power plants in the Southern Hemisphere, the community sure is on a fast track to status revival. For ANN7, I am Lungani Mnguni, DR in the Northern Cape.
And our first question goes to the Executive Mayor. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. In the Northern Cape, Emthanjeni is viewed as one of the best municipalities. What structures do you have in place to make sure that whatever funds are allocated to this municipality are used for the right reasons and that service delivery is allocated to the people?
Thank you for the opportunity. Let me first thank the opportunity that we are granted to be on the program. And good afternoon to everyone that is listening. Fundamentally, as Emthanjeni Municipality, we are having structures that are led by capable and skilled personnel. That is the pillar of the strength where we are. Because we have made sure to say that as Emthanjeni, when we appoint people with the relevant skills in order to take forward whatever that we intend to take forward as Emthanjeni Municipality. But furthermore, as Emthanjeni Municipality, we are amongst the best municipalities in managing the finances of the municipality. Now, when there are allocations that are given to the municipality to execute a particular function, we don't hesitate in any way because of our financial stability. We don't hesitate to redirect any funds that are meant or ring-fenced for a particular program in order for it to be utilized somewhere else. Because there are enough funds, even the reserves, including the investments that we're having as the municipality, whereby if by any chance, but I can allude to the fact that we have not yet tapped to that, but to say that at any given opportunities, if there can be financial constraints or strains that we are experiencing as the municipality, we do have reserves to fall to. Hence now that put us in a better position than the other municipalities that are category B municipalities and that are of our size. Because financially we are stable and we are managing the finances of the municipality better. Because we are having skilled and competent officials that are dealing with that.
Right. Let me pose this question to you, Mr. Rust. Thank you so much for joining us. I understand you are the DA mayoral candidate.
Correct.
Right. What do you bring to the table? What do you have to offer to the electorate, and what can they expect from you?
The electorate, if we refer to the electorate, we will take the municipality to the electorate because they the people who put us in the position. And there I refer specifically to ward committees. Ward committees supposed to consist of a group of members out of a specific ward. And you can only know what to address if you know what the need on the ground is. And the ward committees, if they bring it to council, council can do something about their problems, their worries, their grievances, etc., etc. In the 5 years I've been on this council, not a single proposal from a ward committee was dealt with by the municipality as such. And I think that is a very, very great lack in communication, in dealing with the public outside. What is the position of a municipality, a municipal council? We're there to deliver services, to deliver the best services to our ability. And if we don't know what the exact need on the ground is, how can you take something to people if you don't know what they want? With the same money, you could have done something else which will fall into their problem, address their problem, etc., etc. Coming back to communication, there should be a very open line of communication between a municipal council and all the people of that specific town. We are serving them, they're not serving us. You know, for an example, we address every year the IDP, the Integrated Development Program. And how can you address a program if you don't exactly know what the needs are?
Okay. Well, thank you for those remarks, Mr. Rust. I have to introduce to the conversation Councillor Vuyelwa Jonasi. You have a seat in this municipality. What changes have you brought to the residents that you know, they can thank you for?
Let me first take this opportunity to say thank you for granting me this opportunity to be part of this program. As an independent candidate, I can't say more or bring more, because if you are a candidate of independent, there's nothing that you can give to the community. Rather, if there's a fight within your political party, rather fight inside than going outside. So I cannot say this is what I have brought to the community, because I'll be now encouraging some other people to stand as independent councillors. Whereas if you are an independent councillor, you have nothing in the hand. There's nothing you can do for the community. So I will not say people must stand as an independent. So rather stand, if you belong to this political party and there's a conflict within the political party, fight inside, beat each other inside, put a salve or bandage inside, solve the problem inside, then go outside to the enemy so that enemies will not see what is happening inside the house.
Well, thank you for those opening remarks from my panelists. I will come back to you, Executive Mayor. Perhaps you could respond to what Mr. Rust says there. He speaks of ward committees who come up with proposals and they are ignored. He speaks of communication structures that are not being adhered to.
ANC leads the society. And I'm happy to reiterate it again to say that all what the other parties are saying, it's what is in the manifesto of the ANC. To improve on public participation, it's one of the 5 key priorities that the ANC has set aside, not only in Emthanjeni but nationally, whereby the ANC intends to improve public participation. But let me zoom in to Emthanjeni Municipality in particular. Last week, as we are concluding and we are about to adopt the budget the next week, Tuesday, the 31st, we are returning from the communities. Now, in order to, to engage the communities, doesn't solely rely on the ward committees. The law promulgates to say that there are a number of structures that are in place promulgated by the law that you need to utilize in order to communicate better. In February and in March, we were out to the communities to communicate and to engage the communities around the IDP, which is not a program but a plan. It is the integrated development plan that you need to have in place, that you renew every 5 years. I mean, you renew it annually, but it's there for 5 years. Now, as part of renewing your IDP, which is a plan, you take a report back to the communities that we have gone so far in implementing what we have suggested as communities that we need to implement with the limited budget that we're having, and that these are still outstanding. So all the outstanding matters remain in the IDP up until they find that they are being addressed. But what are the new items that you want them to feature? So it's a plan, not a program. Because should you bring it down as a program has a time frame. And the plan, you work upon it and try to improve and sharpen the plan in order for the plan to be relevant to address the needs that are out there. So it's never a program, it's a plan.
Mr. Rust, the executive mayor says they have a plan and they will implement this plan. As the Democratic Alliance, talk to us about the major points, the key points coming from your manifesto.
As everybody in this country knows, that the DA is based on 3 pillars: freedom, fairness and opportunity. And that's what we want to bring, not only to the council, but to the people in Emthanjeni. It was referred to Emthanjeni as one of the 10, lying in the 9th position, 10 best municipalities in South Africa, of which the first 6 was DA run, and then there were 3 DA coalition ran, and 1 ANC municipality, and that was Emthanjeni. And I think the success of the Emthanjeni municipality also lies not in the ruling party alone, but also in the opposition. Yes. You've got somebody, need somebody to keep you on your toes. Yes. And looking at the 3 pillars of the DA, we intend, if we come into position, we will render good services, affordable services to the public. But as in life, nothing comes for nothing. So we want to render a good service, and we expect the people to pay for that services, because the better payment we do get, the better service we can render. We need money to render services.
Right.
What was said about the IDP, the plan and not the program, I'm quite happy with the word plan, because if you don't plan, you will get nowhere. Yes. And that is the reason why we, as the opposition, we also part of this council and part of its planning. And we there, and we're trying our utmost to see to that the best planning's been done. And don't only plan, you've got to do. And we there, and we intend to do what we plan.
Right. Councillor Janasi, you are an independent candidate. Where do you fit into this plan that the DA and the ANC speaks of? What, you've spoken about what you're not able to do, but what can you do?
What I can say, as an independent councillor in a council, you have no say. How you don't have, in fact, you do have a say, but you don't have a support. Meaning that whatever decision that's supposed to be taken by a council, if you don't have someone to support you, whatever that you say, it's just a fish swimming in an empty pool.
So what are you doing going ahead to make sure that your voice is heard?
The first, I can say first 5-6 months that I've started in a council, Now that at first I was a member of ANC, but there was this miscommunication between us. Then the community, the aim of the community, we ended up taking a decision that we stand as independent.
Right.
Then when I stood as an independent councillor, the first political party that I went to is the opposition party. So when I worked with them from those 5-6 months, I felt that what I want still is not happening. Then I decided to leave them.
Are you open for a coalition with an opposition party at this point?
No.
Okay.
I decided to leave because I saw there's no solution in what I came for. So I've decided to go for a coalition with the ANC. It's whereby when I call, there's someone that is giving me an ear. Because at first, as an independent councillor, there's nothing you can bring to the people. I am thirsty because I have a lot to say.
Clearly.
Okay.
We will come back to that. I'll let you hang on to your thoughts. I have to come to the executive mayor now. In the 2015-2016 budget speech, you spoke of a strategic planning session. I understand maybe this is the one you're speaking of now. Just elaborate on these strategic objectives that you have and how they'll improve the lives of the people in this municipality.
Fundamentally, initially, we were a municipality that was comprised of 3 directorates, where the Directorate of Corporate Services was overloaded with the responsibility. Strategically, we decided to split the directorates in order to enhance and to fast-track the issue of service delivered to the people. But what I need to emphasize here is to say that if you are a municipality and you fail to deliver on the mandate that you are given as the municipality, you must close the doors. Number one, I'm a bit disappointed currently because all those plans that we agreed on strategically succeeded. Now, as I'm saying I'm disappointed with the role that the opposition in council is supposed to play. The role of the opposition in council and in any legislature, it is to keep the executive of the ruling party or the executive or the ruling party rather on toes in order for the ruling party to be sharp and in order for the ruling party not to go astray. But the reason why I'm raising this is because immediately here, as we are sitting here, when I corrected to say it's not a program, it's a plan, immediately my dear friend next to me agreed to say that it is never a program. And that is exactly what even in council is happening. So if we are not taking it upon ourselves as ANC councillors, leading this municipality and come with innovative way of doing things, there is nothing that the opposition is assisting us going forward because we don't feel their presence in council. We don't feel the role that they are supposed to play in council. Now, I have to say that I'm happy they are part of the collective, but being part of that collective have made the ANC a better government, have made the ANC a successful government in this way, whereby anything that the ANC brings to table, that thing goes because there is nothing alternative that they come with to show that no ANC in advance. Because let me just emphasize 2 things here before I step down on this matter. You see, when you are a party contesting elections, you are contesting to control state resources and state power. And I don't see it in the near future that the ANC will lose the control of the state power here because there is very little that the opposition is bringing as an alternative. There's very little.
Mr. Russ, would you like to respond to these allegations from the mayor that you're not keeping them on their toes, you're not contributing to anything at all in terms of improving the lives of the people of this municipality as well as improving on service delivery?
We're strengthening them to, when they're busy with the right thing. We do support them because you don't go against the right thing, then you're wrong. So, and if we help where we can to support because we are in one municipal council. We don't want to divide council to make a joke and a laughing stick of council like's been done in our bigger boardrooms.
Well, as the opposition, what strategic objectives have you come up with to counter any of the, strategies that the governing party might have come up with to help this community?
Somebody in the audience probably knows more than I do. Who sits in
would you like to
council.
prove to them that you know better than they do?
Like I said, we are in council, and if there is a specific point on the table, we discuss that point, we put our minds together, we differ from time to time, but like I said, if something's right, you don't change it. It's not necessary, because then you're actually wasting. And I think with our support and with our vision, we see too that the Emthanjeni municipality, not the ruling party as such, but the Emthanjeni municipality, because we opposition is part of this municipality. So we can't go against ourselves, can we? That's stupid. We don't do it. We do the right thing.
Thank you for your remarks, Mr. Rust. Executive Mayor, yes. How important is it to consult with civic organizations when it comes to planning and implementation of community upliftment programs?
Ma'am, what we do as the municipality, because we are having a diverse community, we use different methods of communication. We advertise on newspapers and in order to inform all the sectors of society. But despite that, there are forums in the municipality that we're having. Our budget, the meeting forums, where we invite stakeholders, sector departments, and all those in order to discuss, to say that, look, we are approaching a new financial year. Now, what is it that we are bringing to the table? Let me make an example. Maybe from the sector department, is there any infrastructural development initiatives that you are having as the sector departments? Then if that is there, it should reflect on our IDP, and if the commitments will be executed through the municipality. So we are consulting the sectors, the different sectors. But ma'am, it's not a smooth run. There are challenges because there is a most important sector that is not really coming to the party. And that sector is called the DR Business Chamber. That is a sector that is very important because that sector economically it's occupying the bigger, the bigger section of the economy, or rather it's having a bigger percentage of the local economy of Emthanjeni. But it's very rare that you get them inside to discuss and to have their thinking, to say that what is the thinking going forward. We are working on that because from time to time we are engaging, but we don't get the response that we desire. But we are not giving up on that sector because that is the only sector. With our communities, we go out with to our communities in council meets the people programs, and even last year, just to maybe to update the audience that is here, including my fellow councillor, there was an intensive ward committee training that took place last week, and even today they are submitting assignments of that program, whereby we are sharpening those ward councillors in order to take public participation a step further and a step higher. So it's not to say the issue of public participation, it's something new. We are embarking on them. Hence, the manifesto of the ANC wants us to strengthen and to improve on that, and we are doing that. Now, on the local economy, that is another that is on the manifesto of the ANC that we need to improve. The sad part is that it's still skewed, ma'am. We are trying to redress it, and it's only to say that the sectors that are in control of the economy, they are not keen to assist the municipality really going forward. They might have their own reasons and their reservations, but we know where we are coming from, because we are coming from an era where we were always skeptical about each other because of the color of the skin. But we are turning a corner in Emthanjeni because what we realize in Emthanjeni, there's only one race that exists, its only human race. So we are trying to bring everyone together in an attempt to say that let's hold hands, let's go together. This Emthanjeni it's for us all. But everyone that can contribute in building it, let's do so. So that attempt is there. But we are engaging our sectors through the different forums that are there. There are those that are statutory, and there are those that we have strategically created in order to engage everyone that is there.
And on that remark, thank you for that. We have to take a short break. We are coming to you from the Northern Cape. We are at Emthanjeni Municipality. We are having a town hall debate. This is SA Decides. It's time for a break.